The National Weather Service in Cleveland will continue their severe thunderstorm warning for Trumbull County. This until 5:45. So we've got a good deal of time here where we've got a severe thunderstorm warning, and there goes that tornado warning continued as expected for areas in Sharon, Farrell, over towards the Wheatland area. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. Over the last 15 minutes, the scan has become a little more organized, a little bit better, cleaner rotation out of this. We'll go ahead and maybe scan or maybe jump over to the National Weather Service in Pittsburgh scan. Like you probably heard me say, our viewing area is split between National Weather Service offices, Cleveland and Pittsburgh. The farther away you go from the radar site, the higher in the atmosphere this is scanning. So this is what the National Weather Service in Pittsburgh site has. A little bit cleaner, but probably just as broad of rotation. But that tornado warning in effect for areas in Mercer County. Let's go ahead and get you the details on that now from the National Weather Service in Pittsburgh. That is until 5:45. So we've got the rest of the hour here that we'll be dealing with either a tornado warning or a severe thunderstorm warning. And not only do we have that pocket of rotation, we've got some straight line winds that we'll be dealing with here moving forward. Getting a report now on Facebook of losing power on the west side of Niles. Thank you for that. We're on now again on our Facebook page. So if you can comment on there, let us know what is happening in your backyard. That will definitely be helpful. If you are able to send us any reports, whether it's via email, weatherpics, PICS at WFMJ.com, or through our social media pages, that will also be appreciated to kind of let us know what you're seeing. So two areas of concern. One real big area here of concern is this straight line wind damage threat. And this is now moving into the Berlin Center area, into the Ellsworth area. This will be a concern for Cantfield, Ellsworth, Berlin Center here over the next few moments. This is straight line wind damage that's coming in at 70 to 80 miles per hour. So if you are in Berlin Center, Ellsworth, Cantfield, Austintown, you need North Jackson, up towards Mineral Ridge, Lordstown, Girard, you need to make sure you are getting into your safe place right now. This is likely wind that would do more damage than an EF0 or EF1 tornado. And we are getting just a insane picture here on our Cantfield Fairgrounds camera. We're going to go ahead and switch it over, of a mean-looking cloud, and this is a really great... Yep, that tornado warning just in effect now for central parts of our viewing area. We're going to stay with you on the air and online here as we walk you through. Let's go ahead and show you that picture from the Cantfield area. This is right over the Cantfield Fairgrounds. Let's go ahead and switch it over. Yep, and that is what things look like out at the fairgrounds. This is what is moving into portions of along 224 into central Mahoning County right now. If you can hear my voice and you are in Cantfield, you are in Berlin Center and Ellsworth, now is the time to make sure that you are going to the most interior room of your home or you are going to your basement. Make sure to have a way to get your devices charged up. Make sure that you have something to protect your head. Make sure that you are staying aware of the situation here moving forward. This says Niles. This is the Cantfield Fair camera. We're going to be switching cameras frequently, so don't mind the location. I'll go ahead and walk you through that. Let's go ahead and flip back on radar. A lot to break down here over the next few minutes. Nice to see that line, which was very potent the last half hour or so, breaking up a little bit off to the west, but the focus now is two tornado-warned areas in our viewing area. One that'll be moving right into the heart of our viewing area. This is just south of Youngstown, into Cantfield, Beloit, and it'll eventually shift into southern Mahoning and eventually far northern Columbiana County. The second area is pushing out of Ohio and into Pennsylvania for Sharon, Wheatland, Farrell. So let's go ahead and show you, too, the winds. How do these winds stack up? A little bit of broad rotation still over towards the Sharon and Wheatland area. But this is going to be the concern. Right in through here. You notice these winds, these yellows. these are winds that are coming in anywhere from 70 to 80 miles per hour. This is very dangerous wind that is moving in to Mahoning County. So if you live in Ellsworth, if you live in Berlin Center, if you live in Canfield, now is the time to make sure that you are getting to your safe place. You're going to need to do that with these winds, this high pocket of wind moving right into central portions of Route 224. Thank you. Appreciate it. And this is our Canfield Fair camera here. We're going to continue to monitor this. This gives us a pretty amazing shot of what it looks like moving in. This is, of course, our Canfield Fair camera. Let's go ahead and I'm going to try and flip around to the Youngstown camera too. A lot going on here across the viewing area. Thank you for joining us. It is 5:27. We are, of course, breaking into Olympic coverage for multiple tornado warnings in our viewing area. Let's go ahead and pull up our radar right now. 2 tornado-warned areas in our viewing area. One, moving out of eastern Ohio and into western Pennsylvania for Mercer County. The other, for central parts of Mahoning County in our viewing area, affecting the Ellsworth area, the Berlin Center area, moving into Canfield now with a high pocket of wind that's Doppler estimated anywhere from 70 to maybe 80 miles per hour. So this is something that you're really going to have to really stay aware of here over the next half hour to 45 minutes. Let's get the latest from the National Weather Service in Cleveland. Okay, that tornado warned area in Trumbull County has been expired. So this little polygon up here from Brookfield, we'll go ahead and circle it. Brookfield, Yankee Lake, to the state line. You're all good at the moment of any threat of rotation. That threat will now be over towards the Sharon area, Wheatland area. And we're going to keep a close eye on this here. We've got a lot going on here in our Storm Tracker Weather Center here. Multiple tornado warnings to bring you here. National Weather Service in Cleveland worried about a couple of areas of rotation. This is the National Weather Service in Pittsburgh's radar. We'll go ahead and get rid of that. So you might have heard us say, or me say today multiple times, wind is wind. And why we say that is because wind, straight line wind damage, can produce as much damage as a low-end tornado. You're seeing that here. This is some strong wind that's moving into the Ellsworth area, into the Canfield area. Let's go ahead. This is 70 to 80 mile per hour winds that I'm sampling on radar here. This is some really dangerous wind that is moving right along Route 224 and into the Canfield area. This is going to move into the heart of Canfield and continue to push right over 224, right along New Buffalo Road, even into the Boardman area. Austintown's getting grazed by this. Cornersburg is going to get grazed by this as well. So a couple of pockets of rotation we're keeping a very close eye on. I'm going to go ahead and try and pull up the Boardman camera here too to see if we can see anything on that. In our building now, you can hear it shaking right now. This building, right in our downtown Youngstown studios here, right in downtown Youngstown. We are shaking. The building's shaking a little bit, and it's getting loud here at our downtown Youngstown studios. It is getting windy all across Mahoning County as right now we are gearing up for a very dangerous straight line wind threat working through the central part of Mahoning County. Austintown down towards Canfield. Those yellows you see, that's Doppler estimated wind of 70 to 80 miles per hour. This is what we talk about when we talk about how dangerous wind can be. You need to get to your safe place right now until this threat is over. A tornado warned area for a good chunk of Mahoning County. And this will continue here until those yellows, until those pinks continue to push out of the county. And we'll see even if the National Weather Service in Pittsburgh continues to warn into Lawrence County if this straight line wind threat continues. Let's go ahead and go back to this small little polygon here. This is some broad rotation that has continued into the Hermitage area along Route 62. If you're in Hermitage, if you're in Lackawanna, West Middlesex, you definitely want to still make sure you're in your safe place here moving forward over the next few moments. We'll continue to monitor that to see when the National Weather Service might expire that. Go ahead and just checking on a few other things here with some other tools that we have. Corey. Hey, Corey.
Do you want me to, like, do that Facebook or something?
Yep, yeah, we got all our comments and Facebook and stuff like that on there.
Okay.
So, and you're probably hearing my phone. As a meteorologist, I have multiple ways to get information, as you probably know. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Boardman camera. This thing is rocking and rolling right now as we watch this pocket of wind. This is Boardman right now. And this is what we're telling you, how dangerous this pocket of wind is. This is moving through the central part of our viewing area, 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts, and this is pretty impressive video that we're getting right on our Briarfield Healthcare traffic camera, moving right over the heart of our viewing area. We got producer Corey Vallis with us too, Sirens and Camel. Yes. Yes. We're now actually sending our employees here at WFMJ into the basement because there's a tornado warned area for our viewing area, or for the central part of our viewing area for Mahoning County, and that includes part of the city of Youngstown, and includes the entire city of Youngstown as well. The National Weather Service just updated that. So if you are in, whether it's downtown Youngstown or Boardman or Beaver Township, the time is now to get to your safe place. Make sure that you are getting down to the basement as we continue to watch this real robust line of showers and storms continue to work through the central part of our viewing area. We've got a report coming in from our news desk, DeCamp Road on the west side of Youngstown, a tree on a car, and we've got people trapped inside. So an unfortunate story there, and got a little bit of hail coming up on our Boardman camera. We'll bring you that. Lots to juggle here as we move forward through the next few moments here. And we're going to stay with you too. If the threat continues into our 6 o'clock hour, we're going to continue on the air. We're cutting into our Olympic coverage, of course, because of this dangerous situation that'll continue to move through the central part of our viewing area. Winds right now that have just been rocking and rolling our camera here over the last few moments or so. So something to really monitor here. Okay, plenty of power out of Niles, and we'll get those power outage numbers for you. I'm sure those will be pretty robust here over the next few hours. All right, tornado warning will remain in effect until 6 o'clock for Mahoning County. That was from the National Weather Service in Cleveland. Let's go ahead and pull up radar one more time here. We're juggling a lot of information. We're juggling a lot of different reports that we're getting off from our news desk. This is a real dangerous situation that has been developing over the last couple of hours as that really robust squall line has progressed into northeast Ohio. Now we've got a tornado warning from Youngstown down towards Canfield and over towards the Beloit area until 6 o'clock. So this is what it looks like right now on our wind information, our wind data. Right now, Canfield, New Buffalo Road, Boardman, over towards downtown Youngstown. We felt it here in our building. These yellows that you're seeing, this is wind that's moving through at 70, maybe even 80 miles per hour, Doppler estimated winds moving through at that speed. So heads up Coatesville, Lowville, down towards Beaver Township, New Middletown. This is going to be moving through next for all of you, and you need to make sure you're taking the time now to get down to your safe place, because this wind can produce as much damage as a low-end tornado. Also, another tornado warning still in effect for portions of Mercer County. This has been kind of scaled down a little bit. So Hermitage, West Middlesex, Sharpsville, Sharon, you're in the clear for now. Lackawanna, though, over towards East Lackawanna, Mercer, will monitor this real weak rotation as we move forward here into the next few moments. Here's just another view of that rotation on our National Weather Service Pittsburgh scan, a little bit broader there as well. But a tornado warning moving through the central part of our viewing area, now making its way into the Canfield area, making its way into far southern Mahoning County, pushing into the Boardman area, near areas in Beaver Township. New Middletown heads up to you. New Springfield, Petersburg heads up to you. This is what the winds look like right now throughout our viewing area, throughout the central part of Mahoning County. These are these yellows you see here. Well, what do these yellows mean? Well, this wind is Doppler estimated wind coming in at 81 miles per hour near the Boardman area. This is over towards Coit, 75 miles per hour. Just off to the south of Canfield, this is 59 miles per hour. So these are really strong wind gusts that have continued to move through the central part of our viewing area here as we go towards 5:30. Yep. And that's for Mahoning County?
That's for Ohio.
That's for Ohio?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Can't
we're
get to the county.
Yeah, we're working on getting some power outage numbers for you as well. Several thousand without power so far in northeast Ohio, and that's as expected this evening. Okay. We were just working with some of our tech people in the back to kind of get some other information on the air to you. Right now, though, this tornado warning in effect until 6 o'clock this evening. Give you the latest from the National Weather Service in Pittsburgh. If you're just joining us, if you're just turning your TV on, and you're seeing pinks and yellows and don't know what that means, and you live in Youngstown, Boardman, if you live in Poland, if you live in Lowville, get to your basement right now. Get to your safe place. If you don't have a basement, that means get to the most interior room of your home. Make sure you can hear me. Make sure your devices are charged. Make sure you get a few extra bottles of water in there, because this wind moving through right now is no joke. These yellows, 70, 75, 80 mile per hour Doppler estimated wind moving into the central part and the eastern part of the county. So we're going to be monitoring this as it exits the Canfield area. The National Weather Service in Pittsburgh just continued that tornado warning. Over in Mercer County, this is Lackawanna, Findlay, over towards Grove City, almost directly on Route 80. And that is in effect until 6 p.m. So 2 tornado warnings here in effect for our viewing area until 6 p.m. this evening. We've got 20 more minutes to continue to monitor this. I would imagine that if these winds continued as they are in Mahoning County, that the National Weather Service in Pittsburgh would go ahead and issue a tornado warning. I'm sure they'll do that shortly here for Lawrence County. So high winds moving into Lawrence County out of Mahoning County. Not out of the woods yet, Mahoning County. In fact, until we get you all clear, you want to make sure you're in your safe place. But high winds coming your way, Bessemer and a little bit along Route 4022 from Pulaski down towards Newcastle. Heads up to those spots and locations. Get your stuff right now. Head to that safe place because you will likely be under a tornado warning here. If these winds continue to hold up, it looks like, based off of their speed, that they will continue to hold with that tornado warning. Once again, if you didn't hear us, National Weather Services split our viewing area, Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So a little bit of communication in between both of those, and they work with each other to issue warnings on kind of overlapping counties, and this is kind of the situation here. You saw it in Trumbull and Mercer County with 2 different National Weather Services offices. You're seeing it in Mahoning. You're seeing it in Lawrence County here as well. So we're going to continue to monitor these real high winds that are continuing to work through our central viewing area. Let's try and get some video up. Let's go ahead and try and get Boardman's camera up to see the latest on that. This is what it looks like at the fairgrounds right now. A lot of rain, not so much wind, but Boardman's camera has died down a little bit from what it was just a few moments ago. Got a report from our news desk here, 31,000 out of power in Columbiana County. Continue to monitor power outages here moving forward. Flash flood warning also in effect for Mahoning and Trumbull County from the National Weather Service in Cleveland. That's until 10:45 p.m. this evening. Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms that could produce heavy rain between 1 and 3 inches. Additional rainfall amounts between 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches are possible in that warned area. So once these severe thunderstorms move out, we've got to deal with the potential for some areas that might get some ponding, maybe a little bit of high water. A good reminder now to never drive through high water. Hey, we're just reading some Facebook comments here, getting all updated for you. Let's see here. 1 minute ago, Edward, thank you for your comment here. Winds have died down in the Canfield area, but a lot of rain. No power on North Water Avenue in Hermitage. All right, 2 tornado warnings still into effect for the next 15 minutes here. One is a particularly interesting situation and a dangerous situation that has been moving into the eastern part of Mahoning County. So Struthers, Lowville, east side of Youngstown, moving into Lawrence County. You're going to be under the gun here for some winds that are picking up anywhere from 70 to 80 miles per hour. This is some really good straight line wind damage that can really pack a punch and impact areas, and we're continuing to monitor that. The other tornado warned area is in Mercer County. You see that polygon moving through the Mercer area. Some weak and broader rotation that's moving through portions of Lackawanna, over towards Mercer, heads up to you, over towards Findlay, right along 79, and Grove City are also under this tornado warning as well. Something we'll be monitoring here as we move forward throughout the next 15 minutes to a half hour. So we're continuing to monitor the severe weather situation here throughout the valley. 2 tornado warned areas, one with a good deal of wind that's pushing out of Youngstown, pushing out of Boardman. The other with some broad rotation through the Lackawanna area, Mercer over towards Findlay, and making its way along I-80. We continue to see technically 3 tornado warnings. One is a kind of separate polygon. We'll call it one combined. And this is working right along 224 out of Canfield and into Boardman. We're going to go ahead and pull our Boardman camera up to see if we can kind of see anything on that. And we're going to stay with you here through the 6 o'clock hour until these tornado-warned areas, I should say, are expired. Then we will go into our news programming for this evening. But in the meantime, we stay with you in the Storm Tracker 21 Weather Center and bring you the latest for 2 tornado-warned areas in our viewing area. We're going to go ahead and shift our Boardman camera east. Probably can't see much, just seeing a lot of raindrops on our camera there. We saw a really great shelf cloud earlier in the Canfield area, but since then it's been a lot of wind and it's been a lot of rain that has moved through. The highest winds are certainly now pushing through eastern parts of Mahoning County and moving into Lawrence County. No tornado warning for you yet, Lawrence County, but these are winds that you don't mess around with. Anywhere from 60 to 70, 75 mile per hour Doppler estimated winds that are moving out of eastern Mahoning. You're not in the clear just yet, Mahoning County, but Newcastle, Valant, Pulaski. Definitely make sure that you are staying weather aware here and getting to your safe place here as we move forward through the next 15 minutes to a half hour. Let's show you radar right now, what radar looks like at the moment. All of this is continuing to push to the east. More severe thunderstorm warnings for all of Columbiana County and pushing into Lawrence County. This is what the back half of it looks like. The good news is the other severe weather is moving well to our west, is moving to our south. So we won't have to deal with that. What's off to our west is a lot of rain. And we'll have to deal with a flood threat here as we move forward. All of this will produce a good deal of rain into tonight. So flooding will be an issue throughout the area. If you're going to be out and about this evening, Pulaski, you got a report of some hail.
Wind picking up the transfer.
Yeah, wind picking up in the transferred area. Thank you for that. So a lot going on still. National Weather Service in Pittsburgh has continued a severe thunderstorm warning out of our viewing area. So that severe thunderstorm warning still in effect, for Mercer over towards Hope Mills, Blacktown, Perry's Corners, Grove City, right along 79 and 80. This is where kind of that weaker rotation was. This is the area that you want to make sure that you are, if you live in this area, you can hear me, make sure that you are getting to your safe place and make sure that you are still taking cover here over the next few moments. National Weather Service in Cleveland, likely we're going to go ahead and jump back to that one. Likely scaled back. Yes, they did. They scaled back their tornado warning significantly, but the tornado warning polygon now is for the southern edges of our viewing area, for the county rather. This is for Beaver Township, New Springfield, Petersburg. I'll show you what the winds look like right over there. Winds still picking up significantly right there. Trying to see if there's maybe any rotation down there. Go ahead and flip over to the Pittsburgh radar. I don't see a whole lot down there. Just still a straight line wind threat. So we're going to continue to monitor this over the next few moments. You might be at home wondering, all right, Andrew, what do all these pinks and yellows mean? This is straight line wind that we often talk about that can pack a major, major punch that's now moving into portions of Lawrence County. So these pinks and these yellows, let's show you some numbers on these pinks and these yellows. Go ahead and stop this. We'll zoom in here. This is Lowville right now. Lowville to Coatesville. Excuse me, we'll do this again. Lowville to Coatesville right now, 75 mile per hour winds across the state line. You've got 75 to 80 mile per hour Doppler Doppler radar estimated winds. And that'll be the case from Coatesville to Lowville over towards Neshannock Township. We got Chris Serenelli with us this afternoon as well. Chris, thanks for joining us here.
Yeah, Andrew, good afternoon. Hope everybody's staying safe out there. Just to kind of give you a little bit of a breather, was just coming in here from the Mineral Ridge area. Along 46, just north of I-80, we have some trees down in that area, branches and debris in the road, but I did see some larger branches and trees down on my way in. Obviously, torrential downpours. Visibility is a difficult issue. Don't want people doing any hydroplaning, especially on the highway out there, so there is that to consider. And obviously, this is something we've been watching all afternoon, the potential for not only severe thunderstorms, but rotating storms as well. And Andrew, obviously, with that supercell that we had pop up out ahead of the main line, anytime we have that happen, where we have discrete cells ahead of a main complex, that really kind of makes our eyes and ears perk up.
Yeah, definitely. Oftentimes, Chris, you get a situation where you have showers or thunderstorms that'll move ahead of maybe what was forecasted, and a lot of times you might hear us say, the atmosphere is stabilized. In this case, there was a lot of destabilization that happened into the afternoon, and this line, when it popped up, it moved fast. So we're getting some lights flickering here in downtown Youngstown studio. So
taking a power hit. Hopefully we're still with you, but
looks like we're still okay.
Okay.
Still on the air there. So tornado warning still into effect for, looks like the one up in Mercer was, the one up in Mercer was let to expire there. So that is good news. If you're in Mercer County and you live in the Mercer area, what you'll be dealing with is some gusty winds. Cool Spring Township, Jackson Center, gusty winds and a lot of rain. Grove City. And points off to the east of that, Sandy Lake. Going to be dealing with a good deal of rain here. So severe thunderstorm threat not over yet. Definitely make sure that you're still staying vigilant here over the next couple of hours. Definitely if you're going to be out and about this evening, stay vigilant on if there's any high water in some areas, because we'll deal with a flood threat here moving forward. But we're still going to stay on the air with you here. 8 minutes until our 6 o'clock broadcast, and we will stay with you if there is a tornado warning still for our area. Going to be interesting to see what the National Weather Service in Lawrence, for Pittsburgh, does in Lawrence County, I should say. But our southern edges of Mahoning County are now under that really slim polygon. This is Beaver Township, New Springfield, Petersburg, even places that aren't in that tornado warning. Latonia, Columbiana, Elk Run, Rogers, East Palestine. Make sure that you are getting to a safe place, making sure you're vigilant here over the next few moments. A really dangerous thunderstorm is going to be passing through your way.
And to that end, Andrew, we've been talking about this today as well. It doesn't matter if it's an EF1 tornado or an 80-mile-an-hour straight-line wind gust. It doesn't matter. The wind is wind, and the danger and the threat is still the same. The damage is the same. Your tree in your front yard doesn't know the difference. Your shed doesn't know the difference if it gets knocked over by one or the other. So you have the damaging wind threat, you have the flooding threat, and especially with these storms starting to move over some of the same areas, and they are, let me tell you, driving in here, these are very, very efficient rain producers.
Yeah, definitely. 70, 80 mile per hour winds, Doppler estimated winds, something you don't see a whole lot of. I haven't seen a whole lot of in my time here. And they make your eyes glued to the screen, and when you hear that, your ears perk. Something that you don't want to mess around with wind wise. So a lot of rain on our cameras here. We're trying to get you a good shot of something, but looks like a lot of these just kind of get a lot of need some windshield wipers here on our cameras.
It's going to be kind of the same visual no matter where you look.
Yeah, you got a lot of let's show you what those winds look like as they exit Mahoning County. Right now, a lot of good wind. Still from Poland to Lowville, Coatesville, making its way over to the Neshannock area, Newcastle. Make sure you are taking shelter here as while a tornado warning is not into effect for your area. These winds could certainly pack a punch. Pulaski and New Wilmington, right along 376. Yeah.
Going to be crossing Route 19 between Newcastle and New Wilmington as well. This storm on the reflectivity, Andrew, you can see it's taken on a kind of a bow appearance there, so it's kind of an indicator of the damaging wind threat there.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go ahead and zoom out here. Kind of show you what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and take these warnings off, and yeah, you could see right in through here what Chris was talking about. You can see that kind of bowing a little bit, and that bowing is, anytime you see that, indicative of some really strong winds. So this is now pushing into Beaver County, Newcastle, Elwood City, kind of the far southeastern edges of our viewing area, even New Wilmington, heads up to you, and portions of Mahoning County still in a tornado warning. We've got Beaver, New Springfield, Petersburg. All those areas are still under a tornado warning. Chris will give me the latest here. I don't think the National Weather Service has said anything here with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, the only new issuances of warnings out of Pittsburgh have been for Allegheny and Beaver, so I would think that they're still conferring as to what they want to do next. And in the meantime, we can talk about the setup today, Andrew. This was really a potent setup for August. This was something where we had the shear, we had the instability, we had a little bit more of an impetus, not only with the wobble in front there, but the disturbance running along it. So we kind of have all the pieces in place today.
Right, exactly. And the guys in the back, Lauren and Mark, if you can hear me, we're going to stay with this tornado-warned polygon as it continues here into the 6 o'clock hour. No evidence from the National Weather Service whether this is going to be let to expire or not. But we'll go ahead and stay with it until it expires, and then we'll go ahead and cut to our programming here on 21 News at 6 o'clock. So stay with us here into the 6 o'clock hour. A couple more minutes to go on this warning. We'll see if the National Weather Service in Cleveland will let this warning expire, or if they're going to continue it a little more as it kind of sinks farther south into our viewing area. We've got Chris Serenelli with us this afternoon as well, and it's been quite an active afternoon. All starting with, I should say, quite an active day because this started in the morning.
Sure did. We had a couple of rounds today, and you talked about the atmosphere being worked over or not worked over in this case. Usually that is something that happens a lot around here. But again, this is the kind of setup we had where there was plenty of juice to work with, and you had several triggers in place and all the ingredients. And here we are. We've had, again, reports of damage across several communities, and those reports continue to roll in here, and I'm sure they will as these storms continue moving through our southern and eastern communities here.
Yeah, the one real big damage report that I saw, working so fast here, Chris, this afternoon, there's been so much as this line has gone through. Let's go ahead and backtrack for you. But the one thing I saw was from an employee with the Willoughby Hills Fire Department, a firefighter with them, the roof blew off. So that was something that really kind of, I said, they're going to definitely be sending a storm survey crew out. This is the last hour moving through Northeast Ohio, how quickly this all moved. And this was something that developed around the 2 o'clock hour in far Northwest Ohio. Once it came off of the lake, it moved quick.
It sure did.
So we're going to go ahead and stay with Max here as we go through the next 2 minutes. That small polygon continues. We're going to go ahead and pull that up. You might not be able to see that at home, but there it is right there. Tornado warning still into effect for Beaver, New Springfield, Petersburg. If this doesn't, I can't imagine it'll be continued for the entire area. I'm sure this will be trimmed back pretty significantly if it's not expired at all at 6 o'clock. But
we've got some of the damage reports coming in. This is in the Clark community in Lawrence County, in Mercer County. I apologize. Multiple trees and power lines down on Lake Road. Again, that's in Mercer County in the Clark area. This would have been 5:40, so about 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
And a history with this complex of storms. I'm looking at some of the reports off to the north and west. Bleacher walls bent in the Cleveland area, tree limbs down. It's kind of like I said.
That's when it came right off of the lake, and it packed a real healthy punch once it came off the lake. The National Weather Service in Pittsburgh are going to continue the severe thunderstorm warning in kind of like the Lawrence County area. So no indication right now that they'll put a tornado warning out for that little ball of wind in the Newcastle area, but still want to make sure that you are taking shelter in that area. Okay, so we've got the National Weather Service in Cleveland expiring that warning here as we go into 6 o'clock. If you can hear me in the back, let's go ahead and start our programming here at 6. We can go ahead and just start with that programming now that the tornado warnings have all been expired.